Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yellam Pugiram Iravanake. Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing fine. I will start with a bit of introduction about myself. There isn't much to say, so I will keep it short. I'm Khalidha Tanveer and I passed out of this university in 2018 from the Department of Electrical and Electronics. I'm currently working as a wind and site engineer in Vestas, a Danish wind turbine manufacturer. People from Tirunelveli or the regions near RLY Murray would be very familiar with this name, I believe. And when I was asked to speak on this occasion about my experience in Crescent, a lot of Malarum Nanayagal flooded my mind. I was humbled and honored at the same time. Crescent University is a good place to be in, and it has a long history of academic excellence. And the courses are structured in a way to give you more exposure and a chance to explore. I will primarily stick to anecdotes than moral lectures. First year is always the longest, and at least that is how it was for me. I mean, since it is a new experience, filled with a lot of excitement and a lot of other feelings as well, it takes a bit of time to get acclimatized and to stabilize. And once that happens, usually around the end of a semester, things move really fast. So fast that you will be graduating in the blink of an eye. I still remember my first year English professor, Dr. Vijay Kumar. He was also our class coordinator for the year, and he encouraged us to speak our minds without fear. He made the subject fun for us, and he's someone that I'm really grateful to. And I remember having a subject called transmission and distribution. Um, it was taught to us by Professor of Eminence, Dr. Rafiquddin. And his principle of overshoot is something that will stay with me forever. In simple words, what he told us was to aim high. The higher you aim, the closer you are to where you want to be. And now that I think about it, um, apart from the subjects pertaining to our field, we also had a lot of other subjects, additional subjects like economics or social entrepreneurship, etc. And back then, I thought that these subjects were completely irrelevant to me. But after being part of an industry for almost 2 years, more than 2 years now, I can say that I was wrong back then, and I'm thankful that I had these subjects as part of my course. So I come from the department of Triply, right? And we used to have a lot of labs, a real lot of labs, and all of them were fun. But the ones that I liked the most, were the AC and the DC machines lab, and of course also the power electronics lab. I have so many fond memories of all the crazy stuff we used to do in the lab, and I'm really thankful to all my professors and all the experienced lab assistants for making it a fun and safe experience for all of us. Final year, I feel for me was kind of bitter and sweet for a lot of reasons, and handling the final year project along with placements was kind of hectic. It was definitely hectic, but final year was more sweet than bitter, I must say. We went for industrial visits to places like Ennore Thermal Power Plant, and we also organized SAAA inaugural and events like Cygnus, our technical symposium. It was really nice to organize all these events, and Cygnus 2K18 will always have a special place in my heart because I had the opportunity to be the editor of the Cygnus 2K18 magazine. And we also had a Tamil section in that magazine, and my classmate Ashwak was the editor for the section. And back then I remember realizing it, for the first time in 4 years that I was studying alongside budding poets, and it was a really good experience, learning experience, I must say. And if I have to talk about my experiences in Crescent, it would be completely um, unjustified to not talk about hostel because my experience would have been incomplete had I not been a hostler. And to be honest, I miss my hostel more than my classroom. And not only because it has taught me a lot of things, but also because it has made me a better person. I remember that in the first year, we were made to stay in an AC dorm, and 15 of us were staying together. And it was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. We enjoyed, celebrated, fought a real lot, and stayed together. It was really like a big family, and I also remember that every year I used to look forward to this particular event called Cursives. It was a month-long cultural celebration of sorts with lots and lots of events and competitions, and it was hosted by the final years, and it was exclusively for the lady hostlers. We used to have all sorts of competitions ranging from charades to cooking, bridal, singing, dancing, and for the final event, we all used to dress up and we celebrated it with a lot of pomp and show. Now that I think about it, I really miss all the late night milk and fruits that we used to get and the pillow talks that usually followed them. I really miss my room as well, and mostly because it was like a second home to me. And I can keep going on about all of this because I have so many memories of it. And one particular memory is of when me and my sister were stuck in the hostel during the Chennai floods. So the airports had closed, and we were stuck in the hostel with few others. And at that time, they took really good care of us. I'm really not sure how they managed to, but they provided us food, electricity, and everything else that we needed. And they went an extra mile to make sure that that we are safe and sound and taken care of. And once you leave the hostel, that is exactly when you leave the hostel is when you realize the level of facilities that the hostel provides you with, ranging from mini groceries to cyber cafe, 24/7 Wi-Fi. You actually start appreciating all that the hostel has done for you. And now I would like to move on and talk a bit about the next 4 years ahead of you. In these 4 years, you will be forging friendships that will last with you forever, and you will be learning and growing, not only as engineer, but also as a person. You'll be growing not only as an engineer, but also as a person, and you will see many ups and downs. Surely, not only in the form of cat marks and my advice to you would be to take everything as an experience, everything that comes your way as an experience that you can learn from, and to be open to all sorts of opinions. That is the beauty of it, if you ask me. By the end of 4 years, you will mature into an independent adult who is ready to take on responsibilities. I believe that we should not forget the primary objective of getting into college, but we should also remember that that is not the sole objective. It is not only about securing marks, but it is also about all the beautiful experiences that make you who you are. So enjoy these 4 years as much as you can while balancing your academics. It is definitely possible to do so. And when it comes to your academics, make sure that you get your basics right, because your fundamentals will eventually serve as a bridge between you and the industry. So if you ask me, I would say that life is all about prioritizing and balancing things. So utilize your time well. You can always learn a new sport. Maybe you can spend time in the library if you want to, or maybe you can be part of crescent blood donors, or you can be part of the dramatics team. You can take part in social service initiatives. You can explore the innovation center and be a part of budding innovators and entrepreneurs. You can take part in different cultural events, like Carnival, Orion. There are so many cultural events throughout these 4 years. And talking about Orion, I remember that we used to go to the auditorium way before the event started, just to secure seats so that we can, sit and enjoy the show. It was that good. And having said that, I must say that for me, Chrissy's will always be number one. Nothing beats Chrissy's for me. If I have to sum it up, I would say that whether it is academics or co-curricular activities, the university provides you a lot of facilities. So make sure that you use them well. And once your college life ends, it is an ocean of opportunities out there. So look for all sorts of learning experiences and, sincerely try to overcome the biases and shortcomings um, in these 4 years. Seek that which intrigues you and be as honest as possible with yourself. Know that no matter who gives up on you, you should be the last person to do so. And I think that I've given enough moral lecture for today. So let's switch a bit as we move towards the end. You guys can take a sigh of relief because it is almost over. So now I wanted to talk with you about what you can do to keep track of all the latest trends in the industry. I would suggest that you start a LinkedIn account and start following people and pages associated to the field of your interest. LinkedIn really keeps you updated with all the relevant news and tech updates, and it is more than a really good networking platform, I would say. You can also learn a lot of stuff in LinkedIn. And before I let you go, I want to thank all of you for bearing with me. I'm really sorry if I bored you. But remember, the Almighty never burdens a soul beyond its ability to bear. I would also like to thank Janat PV ma'am, the rest of the staff, and the college for giving me this opportunity. I am really sorry for not being able to make it today, and I would have loved to connect with you all. I would like to take your leave with these two lines that are really, really close to my heart. They are quotes by a person I love and cherish and respect a lot, the revolutionary Dr. Ernesto Che Guevara. The first one goes like this: if you can find ways without any obstacles, it probably leads nowhere. And the second one is a very relevant one, especially in today's world. The life of a single human being is worth a million times more than all the property of the richest man on earth. I hope that these lines will inspire the will to serve in you and that you will serve in whatever way you can. And with that, I would like to finally take my leave. Jazakallahu khair for the opportunity. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.